Sorry, guys, I can't hear D, but I'm pretty sure y'all can hear me. So I'm saying, hey, I guess D's trying to figure out what's going on. D, you got to add yourself, buddy. That's like put yourself up into the camera, add everybody together. So, how's everybody doing tonight? What's going on? I'm going to try and read some comments. Put your comments out there. Let us know what's going on. So, man, disappointing match. Disappointing match last week. Thought we could have done much better than we did. Did not turn out in our favor. The Vardy goal was excellent. And what I'm going to leave it at is Okazaki, Vardy equals goals. That's bottom line. That's what I'm saying. So let us know what you all think. Let us know what you think about how that all worked out. But it was a little disappointing, that's for sure. And I'm hoping that D gets on here shortly. But where does that leave us? Where do y'all think that leaves where we're at, and where we're at with what's going on with the club? We're 6 points off of seventh. I'm thinking we're 10. Dude, how does the camera connect? D, you have to add yourself to the broadcast. So where does that leave us? We're at how y'all feel about that, but I'm not overly excited where we're at. I think inferior teams are coming in and beating us with inferior players, which is very, very disappointing. I think that we have the quality and the ability to beat these players. There's been a lot of talk this week about Puel. There's been a lot of conversation about what's going on with the club. But ultimately, you have to start asking yourself, we've had Claudio, since we've won the league, we had Claudio, we've had the same result. We've had Shaky, we've had the same result. Now we have Puel, we're having the same result. Yes, it's a different brand of football. Yes, we have a little bit more possession, but we've sacrificed shots on goal for that possession. So, I mean, it's been very, very disappointing to see, where we're at and what's going on with the whole thing. So, D, buddy, what are you doing out there? So, so I'm not exactly sure where that leaves us as a club, but I'd love to know your thoughts. I'd love to know what y'all think. There he is. What's up? Oh man, he ran and hid. Um, but we'd love to know your comments and what you think about the whole thing. Where does that leave us? Especially where does that leave us if we have Ndidi, Maguire, Vardy, Casper Schmeichel, of course, Christian Fuchs, where are all these players going to be at the end of the season if we're not playing in Europe? What's going to happen with all of them? It's a scenario that could, especially with Vardy and Maguire playing for England in the World Cup. Those guys go in and they score goals, we're in trouble. Hey, D.
Hey, brother. Hey, brother. Hey, brother. Hey, brother. Hey, brother.
What's going on?
How many echoes?
Hey, turn off everything else but Facebook and Be Live.
Okay.
And your cell phone.
My phone's off.
Man, he's really screwing the pooch on this one. So, I don't have internet. I live in South Carolina in the United States, and we tend to be a little slower down here. So I don't have some internet today. So D is now hosting the show for the first time himself. So here's to D, trying to do a cool job, and apparently he sucks at it. But that being said, so we're going into a big match this weekend with Burnley. We need the 3 points. If we don't get it, if we give up the 3 points, leaves us where? Where does it leave us? It leaves us with nothing. So we're going to be in 8th or 9th for sure at that point. The players will probably just phone it in at that point. Do you think we can keep our guys if we don't go out and win this weekend? All that said, I think we can go out and win this weekend. I think we can go out. I think we can beat Burnley. I think that, a point won't do, though. I don't think a point will keep us. So I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen with the rest of this cast. Let's see what's going on with D. Buddy, can you hear me? I think we're back. I hope you're enjoying the comedy show that we're having going on right now. So, I'll tell you what, everybody's talking about a lot of things with Puel. Everybody's talking about a lot of things. And I want to bring something up that I feel as though should be approached this week, which is what we need to do to win this week, especially with our injuries at midfield. I think we should go with a 4-3-3. I think that we should run a 4-3-3 this week. Run Okazaki in the middle, Vardy on the left, Mahrez on the right. Put Albrighton in behind Mahrez. Put Chilwell in behind because Puel's going to play him. Puel's going to play Chilwell somewhere. So put him in behind Vardy. Put Silva in the middle. Put our back four with Fuchs, Maguire or Dragovic. You can argue, who should play there. It really probably should be Dragovic. Maguire and Simpson, Casper in goal. Go with a 4-3-3, see what we can do, see how we can attack with it. But with our injuries at midfield, I just don't see why we wouldn't go for that. The only other thing I could see us doing is maybe moving Albrighton. Chowdhury, of course, is an option there. And he played really well the last match. So that's a possibility, but maybe moving Albrighton in and well in the wing. D! I see ya!
You do, man. The echo's a bit better. It's not brilliant.
You're an Echo Man!
Hello! Love that. Hello!
Do you have your phone on?
Listen. Hang on.
This has been awesome.
Can you hear me now? Is that better?
Much better.
No echo.
No echo.
This stupid system of yours, I've had to go in with my phone. Okay?
Were you able to do that?
I just did. So, here I am.
I can't do that.
Yeah, I had to. See, it thinks you're me. So I can't broadcast myself because I'm already on, but I'm clearly not on.
Gotcha.
Okay? Because
I've been rambling on about myself, about the club and what's going on. So let's talk a little bit about what's going to go on this week. And thanks to our 9 guys sticking around saying, hey, enjoying the comedy that we have going on.
Is there anybody actually watching us right now? I can't
says there's 10 of us that are dumb enough to enjoy watching a couple of drunken idiots keep doing their thing.
Because, I've got a suggestion from everybody watching. So Don has asked me to sign in with his Facebook credentials. Now, should I or shouldn't I do the obvious? Have a good read through, see what he's up to really, and then change all his passwords.
I think you can have good fun with it.
Yeah, I think I could.
I think there's some guy named James Don that would enjoy every part of that.
Yeah, he probably would. So, hey, this is weird because I'm not getting any comments from anybody. So maybe nobody's commenting. Hey, Darren. Hi, mate. How you doing? All right, let's crack on with the show.
So, what are we doing?
We're going to crack on with the show.
There we go. It's a fresh start.
Where's the car bomb, mate?
I'm going to piece that together as we go along.
I see.
Piece 1. Let's talk about piece 1.
All right.
Let's talk about last week.
Do we have to?
Just a bit. And I said this a few minutes ago, and I mean it. Okazaki plus Vardy equals goals. I don't understand why you don't start Okazaki. I'll be honest with you. My feeling is it's why we lost the match.
It's probably one of the reasons why we lost the match, but it's a huge reason why we only scored 1 goal, and it was a tap-in that, funnily enough, Okazaki set up. I remember seeing it, right? He won a tricky header and played it across the face of the goal, and Vardy had it gift wrapped with a little bow on it.
Right, a nice little tap-in. Now, explain to me this. Why is a guy that's 4'2" winning headers, and we don't have anybody else that can? Morgan, Maguire, Avora, Ndidi. Why can these guys not win headers? And Okazaki's winning headers.
I'll tell you why. Because he wants to win that header more than those guys do. He's a ninja.
He's a ninja. He's got heart, baby.
Yeah. And look, Andreas Tomlin has said we need to fight for a win. And, I think we can complain about selections. I think we can complain about formations. But I think we need to expect our players to play with a bit of courage and determination and some grit instead of being pissed off and their heads are down from the get-go.
So who's the leader on the club that's going to get that through?
Well, leaders on the club are the established players. You'd be looking at your Wes Morgans, you'd be looking at your Jamie Vardys, your Kasper Schmeichels, those guys for leadership. Oh, you are on the way. Good boy.
So when you look at them for leadership and you see what's going on, I believe you need to start questioning the leadership, correct?
Well, leadership where? On the pitch, off the pitch? Because I do agree that, sometimes the manager's selections leaves us a bit baffled. But I also believe that players have a responsibility to do their very best and try their hardest, no matter how upset they are with the manager. They got to do that. They got to put the shift in every single game. But
here's the thing. We got the whole story that the players were the reason Ranieri went.
Right. I still believe that.
We got the story that the players were the reason Shaky caused so much trouble.
Yeah.
And here we're getting Puel. The players are the reason Puel is going to go out.
Well, listen.
And last match, it looked like the players couldn't be bothered.
Okay, let's just put a lid on it for now. We don't really have evidence that the players are turning on Puel, but let's be realistic. We wouldn't be surprised if there was a part of that as a reason. Okay, so look, you can play any formation, any selection, but if the players' hearts aren't in it, it doesn't matter if you have the best selection or the best formation. The attitude of the players need to earn their money is what I'm saying. And some do put a shift in every single game, but there are some that clearly don't. Everybody's got to put a shift in.
So why do guys that do put a shift in every match, not get a start, and some guys that basically could be bothered to be out there keep getting the start.
Well, that goes down to the selection and the formation issue that we've got. And really, the formation's not going to change. We're 4-4-2 till we die. I said it last time we were live. If you're getting an LCFC tattoo, put 4-4-2 in parentheses. Don't give me that look. I'll kick your ass.
So let me bring this up to you. With our injuries, shouldn't we play a 4-3-3 this week?
Well, with injuries and resource management, you have to play in the best formation that you can afford to with the talent that you've got. And I would have said that we needed to ditch 4-4-2 for other games, not just this one coming against Burnley. But my question to you is, how are we going to beat Burnley? How do we beat them? 5 games they've won 3 away games. They're on a real roll at the moment. This is a must-win game. This is our season game now. So how are we going to win?
Disagree with you. I don't disagree with you whatsoever. But how are we going to go in with our normal 4-4-2? What are we going to do? We're going to play Chowdhury.
We have to
with
play
Silva. No backup.
Don't make me get shitty on Claude Puel right now, okay?
I'm saying, if we're going to play 4-4-2 with our injuries, who are you going to put in midfield with Silva? Silva's it.
Yeah.
Chowdhury's the only other answer, unless you move Albrighton into the middle.
Andreas nailed it. If Steve Walsh was captain, they'd get a kick up the ass. Damn straight they would. And not just from Walsh. They'd get it from Elliott. They'd get it from Taggart and Neil Lennon and all those guys. They put it in every single game. But going back to Burnley, how are we going to win this, Dom? This is our season. A draw's not good enough. It has to be a win. Do you think he's going to play 4-3-3?
I'm telling you, with our injuries, we have to. We have to play 4-3-3. With our injuries, I don't understand. So you put Okazaki in the middle, you put Vardy on the left and Mahrez on the right, you put Silva in the middle, you put Albrighton behind Mahrez, you put Chilwell behind, because he's going to play Chilwell. He loves that kid. He's going to play him. So put him behind Vardy on that side, put Fuchs in, put Dragovic in. I love Morgan. I love him to death, but you got to put Dragovic in. Maguire, Simpson, Schmeichel. That's my starting team. That's who I start, because I don't know if I want to see Chilwell in on defense and Chowdhury in at midfield with no backup at midfield whatsoever. If we get a card or if we get an injury, who slides into that spot?
Let me ask you this. Do you think he'll play a 4-3-3 against Burnley? Because I'm telling you he won't.
No, I don't think so. But you asked me what I think we need to do to win. That's what I think we need to do to win the match.
I think you've outlined the keys to a win, but we have to figure out a way to win with 4-4-2 and Hamza Chowdhury situation. Look, Hamza Chowdhury is a young kid, and Claude Puel's his clear intention is he wants to play the kids, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, okay? But now his hand is forced.
It is if you're trying to get in the 7th.
Thank you. It is in the games that count. This is an unforgiving league. This is not a league where you experiment. It truly isn't.
Someone said to me this week, why do we have to have knee-jerk reactions to wins and losses? You want to know why? $413 million.
Yeah.
That's what this club is worth. If you don't get into England and you don't make the right moves and you lose your players and get relegated next season, your $413 million as an owner just turned into shit. Total shit.
Well,
it's nothing close to $413 million. You want a reason for a knee-jerk reaction? I'll give it to you. You keep losing games that you should, or matches you should win, I'm going to have a knee-jerk reaction.
So what do you say to these protagonists who insist that Puel needs time and he needs a transfer window? What do you say to that?
It's a really interesting dynamic, and this is the dynamic on it, which is a coach. In American sports, the saying is a guy needs 3 years to make his team. Okay?
Yeah.
There's no question whatsoever. You need 3 years to make your team and bring your players in. But great coaches take the team they have and acclimate their system to the players they have, and their team wins now. Maybe not the whole league, but in the playoffs, plays well, does well, and then builds their team behind it. That's what great managers do. We clearly don't have that situation right now.
See, Darren makes the point. He's getting into Europe, the be-all and end-all, and having start next season in July. If we did qualify for Europe, our season would effectively start in July after a World Cup.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. Honestly, I'm good with that, Darren. I really am. I'm absolutely fine doing that.
So my question is, everyone says you need to give Puel time. If Puel doesn't get into Europe, does he get time?
Well, look at it on paper, our current situation. 8th in the Premier League. I would argue that we're 8th on the virtue of everybody else being absolutely terrible. But if you look under the hood of that 8th placement, the facts are we've only won 4 games out of 15. That's not 8th league position form on any other season.
Claudio and Shaky got fired for the same reason.
They got fired for, I think, Shaky won his first 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. But I'm saying similar records, similar situations, and now we have the players clearly not interested in what he's doing.
Well, that's the problem for the players then, because I'm old school. If the players don't like the coach, players can go screw themselves. Seriously, I don't buy into this player power bullshit one little bit.
I don't disagree with you, but I'm looking at what's happening. We've seen this story before. It's now our 3rd time.
Yeah, but listen, the worst thing that can happen to us now is if we don't make it into Europe. We're not going to get relegated. We may finish 10th, I don't know. And on paper, most people would have taken that. But what we really need to look at is the opportunity that we've missed. And it's a huge opportunity to have a top 6 finish even, not a top 7 or a top 8, but a top 6. Actually be in the top 6, the elite 6. It could have been us. Should have been us. We've got the players. We've got the talent. We've got everything.
But if I'm an owner of this club, I'm actually not looking at your current position. I'm going to look back to the EFL Cup and your club selection. I'm going to look back to the EFL Cup and say we could be playing in Europe, but you chose to not play our best club at that time. The FA Cup, you chose not to play our best players and our best club at that time. And now here we are in a situation where we got to fight for it, and everybody's seen what's happened in those 2 situations. And now it's all on Puel.
Don't say stuff like fielding a weakened squad in the League Cup. You'll get the mob after you. I'm still running from those people. I'm still running from those idiots who want to kill me for highlighting.
I'm a lot further away than you are.
Yeah, well, these fuckers can swim. Let me tell you something. The hate mob is real. So don't ever go around saying on Facebook that he's.
I'm just telling you right now that we had an opportunity in the EFL Cup to advance, and we didn't do it.
Of course we did. We absolutely did. And for me, the EFL Cup, the League Cup, actually disappointed me more than losing to Chelsea in the FA Cup, because that Man City game was genuinely winnable. Genuinely winnable.
Absolutely.
And that hurt me the most, more than the FA Cup. Even though I'd like to win the FA Cup more, we had a real shot. We should have tied it up. So by end of March, when the cup final was played, we'd have already got a place in Europe. The pressure.
Exactly. So we'd already have a place in Europe. We wouldn't have to worry about where we're at in this situation. We wouldn't have to worry about where we're at in this problem. But now we are in this situation, and everybody's seen this story.
So, listen, Dom, I think the frustration amongst our fans stems from one question that none of us can really, really answer, okay? Only those with a pay grade much higher than Claude Puel's could probably answer this. And it's simple. What should be our aspirations? If our owners are saying that they're ambitious and all this sort of shit, we'll spend some freaking money. I'm waiting for them to show ambition. Fair enough, they're expanding the stadium, but for God's sake, get the playing side right first before you expand the stadium.
Well, you're going to have an expanded stadium with with a Champions Division team.
I want our owners now to step up and show this ambition that they talk about, because I'm not convinced. I'm truly not convinced. After all these years, they still talk about ambition. Yeah, put your hands in your pocket. Spend 50, 60 million on one player instead of 3 transfer windows. You know?
Hey, man, you got a budget of $90 million this summer.
Yeah, spend the money. Spend the money.
Right? Hey, so listen, let's talk about this weekend. We got Burnley. We can't recall Andy King. The Savior, Simon. The Savior.
Hallelujah.
Andy King.
Hallelujah.
Listen, Andy's doing well. Andy's doing well, and cheers to Andy. Andy's doing well and playing well, and I'm happy to see it.
Cheers, Andy King. This is my car bomb, by the way, so hurry up.
No, I'm working on that third part. So, what's going to happen this weekend?
Well, I think...
You're going with a 4-4-2.
We're going to go with a 4-4-2. We know this.
Who's your starting lineup?
My starting lineup will be Schmeichel, Danny Simpson. Hang on a second. 1 minute. Hang on.
Oh, man, you homered this one. Oh, man, D's getting in trouble. So, I'm going to give you mine. Pure, if you're listening, play a 4-4-3. Put Fuchs in there. Get Dragovic in there. Get Maguire in there. Get Simpson in there. Put Silva at the mid.
1 minute. Hang on.
This has just been one disaster after another. So put Silva in there. Put Chilwell on the left. Put Albrighton on the right. Put that guy that says he's the greatest in the world, whatever, on the right. Put Okazaki in the middle. Put Vardy on the left. Bring Diabate in late for Okazaki. Move Vardy to the middle and put Diabate on the left-hand side. Play solid, honest 4-3-3. We win the match. 3-1. It's a Vardy party. Vardy will tear that formation up, and I think Mahrez will get a goal too. Vardy scores 2. Mahrez scores 1. 4-3-3 formation. Boom.
All right. Mine's not quite as boom as yours, but I think we're going to play the 4-4-2 because we always do. And that's
I know we are. I know we are.
And I think we're going to win.
You know what kind of a beer change it is to go from a margarita to a Guinness? You know, that's a serious...
Listen, bro. I've had unlimited booze on a cruise boat. I know exactly how that goes. So I'm going to tell you, we're going to play 4-4-2. We're going to win. And we're going to get a really shitty penalty like we did a couple of seasons back. And we're going to steal 3 points.
Oh, you're going to get a Real Madrid penalty.
We are going to piss those people off by stealing a win that we don't deserve. Not for the first time for us.
Who's going to be our Pinaldo?
I think it's going to be Jamie Vardy, of course.
Oh, okay. Vardy will be our Pinaldo? Okay.
Oh, of course. I don't think there's any question. It's the captain of the ship wanting to play his bar bill. Simon. Yeah, I don't know. You'll have to catch me. He's not going to get here by boat, that's for sure, mate. Look, Burnley are going to expose us. You know, Burnley are not a pushover, mate. They're going to be a difficult game. But they're a grinding, grafting kind of team. They're not a finesse side. And if our players don't show up in terms of attitude, they'll kill us.
D, you're an American football fan, and you're a movie guy. Do you remember the movie The Replacements?
I do. Gene Hackman.
What did he say at halftime going in when that chick interviewed him? When she said, "What's it going to take to come back in this game?"
I don't know. What did he say? Win one for the Gipper? I can't remember that quote.
A lot of heart, baby. It's going to take heart.
Simon thinks Harry Kane will score the winning goal. Yeah.
Is he
Hey, Simon, we're going to Burnley, aren't we? We're going together, right? I don't know what's happening with that. Let me know.
So, here's my thing, D, and I think I'm going to echo everyone's frustrations when I say this, and I said a little bit about it earlier. I feel as though inferior teams with inferior players are beating us and beating us easily. And we need to stop the bleeding now and step forward and go win this thing to go into Europe.
I think it's we have to stop feeling sorry for ourselves, mate.
We're in 8th for crying out loud. We're not going to be relegated. We're not going to be. Somebody said earlier this week, like, you'd be happier in a relegation fight or a true fight for Europe than to be where we're at right now. But how many teams would beg to be where we're at?
Well, they would like to be where we're at, but you couldn't make it up with Leicester City. Only we could be 8th and still be really pissed off.
The truth, I truly feel in my heart, though, seriously, I truly feel in my heart that if we don't get Europe, we lose Maguire and Ndidi.
Well, not just those two. There'll be a lot of interest. Don't forget, this is a World Cup year, so a lot of scouts will be watching a lot of our players who are playing internationally as well. It might not be just Ndidi and Maguire, mate. It could be a bunch of players that could be tempted to go somewhere where they can play in Europe, you know.
And guess who might get some time? Who? Jamie Vardy.
Yeah. You know, I'm worried about Kasper. I'm worried about, you know, any one of our players could go.
Listen, I'm going to tell you what, Kasper goes, and a lot of people that are saying he's crap are going to start saying, wish we had Kasper back.
Oh, man, you won't catch me disrespecting that goalkeeper. He's saved our asses more times than I can remember.
Yeah. Could you imagine what our record would be this season without him?
No, I dare not even think. I shudder to think. Kasper gets a free pass from me all day long. Honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he does. But, you know, there's going to be a lot of, like Imtiaz said, there's a lot of emerging talent in the World Cup. But, again, the question has to be, and this is the one nobody's answering, what is our objective? Is it just to get 40 points? Or is it to do more? Let's do it.
You know what my answer is?
What's that?
To do more, my friend.
Let's do it.
Go Leicester! It tastes like chocolate milk, D.
It's the lies I can't stand. By the way, that shot glass was one of many that Simon and I procured on St. Patrick's Day.
The one I just used was one that Jim procured in Toronto.
Did he walk out with one?
There was several.
Yeah, well, we needed some value for money. We should have stolen that bloody car bomb machine. You did not. No, you didn't. I don't believe you. I swear, I'm going to go back and take it. I don't know why we let that waitress get a free pass by not taking that thing.
Listen, I love you. Had a great time in Toronto. Toronto sucks.
Nah, man, I love Toronto. It's a great city. Free beer and chocolate is one thing. Hey, listen, Simon, that beer and that chocolate isn't free, mate. There's people like me that pay 70 quid just to right to buy a ticket. So that's not free, man. Don't believe it.
Is Simon watching?
I didn't even get a free beer and a free chocolate.
Hey, is Simon watching?
Yeah, he is.
Hey, Simon, I got something for you. It's right here. Ready? That's a cross-ocean love right there, bro.
I'm all out of booze, mate. This is me finished. Right, so Burnley. Are we going to make it to Europe, yes or no?
Man, I love Leicester, but no.
You know what? I'm going to say we are.
I want to say it, D. I really do from the bottom of my heart. I want to say it, but I'm going to tell you what. I watched the last couple of matches really close, and the heart's not there. The fire's not there.
I don't know. it's Leicester.
And that makes the difference. It's always made the difference for us.
For me, it's the very definition of who we are. If anybody can pull this off, it's us. I think
the reason I fell in love with Leicester City when I watched Leicester play was because of their heart and their determination. When they stepped out of that tunnel until they went back into it, it was the heart and the determination that they put out there. And now I see remnants of it. I see pieces of it, but I don't see what it was. I don't see what it was. And I'm not just talking about when we won the league. I'm talking about when I saw them in the Champions Division, when I saw them play in those divisions, in the lower divisions. They play with heart and passion like I couldn't explain. And the guys that are out there right now, even though they may have the same name on the back of their jersey, they are not the same players.
Listen, if you want to see that kind of passion and commitment, watch the Championship or League One. You'll see it in those players.
Right. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. I fell in love with that heart and that passion. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm going to tell you what, I saw pieces of it. When I was there live, Vardy scored that goal. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. I mean, it was just bang, bang, bang. It was incredible. But I don't see what they put out there for 90 minutes. They don't have 90 minutes in them anymore.
You know why?
How many goals this season have we given up in the last 5 minutes of the first half and the last 5 minutes of the second half?
I'm going to say something here, and it probably won't be popular, but I don't give a shit. But I think Leicester...
What do you think? What I just said is popular?
But I actually think Leicester City have become somewhat institutionalized in terms of Premier League football. It's like they don't have anything to prove. It's when you have something to prove and you're the true underdog, that's when you'll fight for every single thing, like we did with the Great Escape, like we did when we won the league, you know, and to a small degree when we're in the Champions League. But now we think we've been there, we've done that, we're all that. You know, it's easy to get to the top, and you know as well as I do, it's even harder to stay there. And I think a lot of our players have become institutionalized to being Premiership divas, Premier League divas.
You know, here's the thing. I don't want to stay there. It's great. It's great to win. It's amazing to win. What I want is the guys that I support, I want them to go to work as hard as I do. I want them to get up. I want them to punch the clock. I want them to work their ass off. And then when they get done, I want them to go home and do whatever they do. But in between there, I want every single thing they got.
You see, maybe that's why he's playing the likes of Chilwell and Matty James, and before he got injured. Maybe they're showing him something on the training field that the others aren't. We don't know that. We don't see that, you know. There's a lot of things that we don't know. And again, I'm going to go back to this one question that none of us can answer. What is going to be our true objective next season? Is it simply to stay in the division? Is it to win something? Is it to try and get into Europe? Because I don't even think this season we have a true objective.
I mean, I think it's insane. I think it's insane to ask the question, do we want to stay in the Premier League? I think it's insane to even ask that question. You're talking about millions upon millions of dollars difference between that and the Champions Division.
Well, wait a minute.
I mean, the game to go from the Champions Division to the Premier League is called the richest game in the world.
Let me pause you for 1 second. Do you not read Facebook? Do you not see how many thousands of people are just content with being in the Premier League? A lot of our fans are just happy with us being in the Premier League. Nothing more, nothing less. Maybe have an extended cup run now and again, but they're quite comfortable with just finishing 17th. That's it.
Then that's your problem.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's your problem.
We have.
When you start saying, when I was there, people would say, little old Leicester. Little old Leicester is doing this. Little old Leicester is doing that. Bro, I got news for you. You know who the Pittsburgh Steelers are.
Yeah, I do. I can smell them from here.
We are one of the smallest market teams in the NFL. Yet we are one of the most dominant teams to ever play in that league. And the reason is because the family that owns that team will only take players that work hard and fight. You may not win the Super Bowl, but you know what? We are in the playoffs every single year. And the reason we're there every single year is because they will not. We had a player that was one of the best receivers in the history of the NFL get busted for smoking weed. Gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gone instantly. Instantly. We had another player that hit his wife. Gone.
Yeah.
Gone. We don't put up with it. Like, we don't. You do not mess with Steeler Nation. Like, we have a culture in Steeler football that is, we win, but we win the right way. And if we don't win, we lose the right way.
That's okay. Yeah, and that's fine. I get it. But
right? And I honestly attached myself to Leicester City football because I felt they were the same thing. They really, truly were the same thing. They had players. Vardy was an outcast. Okazaki was an outcast. Huth had an injury that they never – like, all these guys came from all these places, and they were guys that fought together.
Just like Major League, the movie.
Right. They really were.
Yeah.
They really were.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to see them come together and be this amazing thing that they became. And they fought together, and they fought together to be who they were and what they are. And that's what was amazing about what they became.
Let me say
and it's disappointing because you know what? Now I'm watching Major League 2.
Yeah, we are. And do you know what you're going to be watching in a couple more years? Back to the majors.
Right. Right. You know, so the money's gone to the head, and the guys don't have the heart that they had before. And what I'm getting at is, here's my question. We talk about Puel. We talk about the players. Is it a bigger problem? Is the front office the problem?
Listen, I think there are things that can be fixed across the board, but I think, and I want to say this, I think our fans need to stop this bullshit about settling for 40 points, okay? That shit stopped season before last. Our fans need to be demanding a top 6 finish. And you know what? Our owners can easily afford the money to purchase the players to get us there. So what's holding us back? Why aren't we doing it?
I not only completely agree with you, but it echoes everything I just said. I want players, I want managers that are going to fight for every inch that they get. Listen, we talked about this. Danny Drinkwater's not fitting in Chelsea, and everybody's talking about all that stuff, and will he come back on? I'll take Danny Drinkwater in a second. You know why? When Ndidi should have taken that yellow card in that match a few matches ago,
yeah,
Drinkwater would have taken it. Drinkwater will cut a guy out. He'll fight. He's nasty. He's hard. That's what I want. That's what Jamie Vardy is. He's nasty. He's hard. He fights. He's got heart all the time. What other striker do you see come back and play defense the way Vardy does? When's the last time you seen Harry Kane slide tackle some dude on a pass? Not he was shooting it at a goal, or not he was doing anything important. Just the guy was going from one side of the field to another. Vardy will slide tackle that guy. That's what I want. I want that.
Throw me another fishing lure for Simon. And that is because I said we don't want Eddie Howe to be our manager. He's won nothing. Why should he come to us? We want winners. We want winners.
Hell yes.
We don't want people who are average with average clubs. We want someone who's going to take us somewhere and do something.
I want fighters. I want people that got the heart.
That's what we want.
Right.
Because our fans have it. Our fans have got heart. Trust me, they have. Our fans have got heart, and they love this club like nobody else does. But
I don't disagree with anything you say, except when you get to the stadium, it sounds like a bunch of crickets are sitting there, bro.
Well, you know what? Look at what's on the field. You know, they pay a lot of money to watch this. they're doing their bit. The players have got to do theirs too now. You know?
I'll tell you what. I disagree. I think Leicester needs to step their game up as much as the fans do.
Well, the fans.
I think you know what? I think Leicester's problems are as much in the stands as they are on the pitch. Step up your fandom. Step up. When I went to see the Burnley match when I was there, I could have taken a nap.
Listen, so we're going to get a bigger stadium. What, with less people in it, more people in it, but no noise?
No, I want to see the fans step the level of fandom up as much as we want to see the players step it up. It's kind of like saying, you know, I want you to be the best in the world, but I'm still going to sit on my hands no matter what you do.
Listen, you know what we really need? We need clearly defined objectives. That's what we need, and we don't have them. Nobody knows what our fucking objectives are. Nobody knows.
Well, let's get a fan objective right now.
To do what? Sing your lungs out? Something you can measure. We're sold out every home game. Every home game we're sold out, brother. It's the same people going.
To what? Take a nap?
Take a nap against one team, but raise the roof against another. It's the same people doing it. I'm going to give our fans a pass. I think the reason why the stadium's quiet is because what's on the field is something that doesn't please them. And they pay a lot of money to watch that.
Dude, when Burnley played against us, Burnley lost when I was there.
Yeah, I was there too.
The only fans that I heard the entire time, and Burnley lost, the only fans I heard was Burnley.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to go away to Burnley on Saturday. And I'll tell you this. Every single away game that I've been to, and I've been to a few, our fans are 1,000 times louder, more rambunctious, and with it than they ever are at home. The away crowd is completely different, mate. Totally different.
I don't know how you get a song done, but we need more.
The away culture is completely different to the home culture. If football is entertainment, yeah. It's a different culture when you travel away. Well, I'll go live with you when I'm at the Burnley game, and you'll see. You'll see what it's like there. But I do think it's a lot of things. If the players are playing well, the fans will get behind them. If the team is struggling, I think it's fair to say the fans will still get behind them. But now we've got a flat product on the field. It's going to equate to a flat atmosphere in the ground. You know, it is what it is. It's that. Yeah. Look what I said. He goes, the players aren't connecting with the fans. That is an absolute truism. A lot of these players won't stop, sign autographs, take pictures with the kids. Some will. They'll do one or two, but they're not engaged with the fans. The connection between players and fans has never been further than it has been right now.
Allow me to refer back to the Steelers. They have a section out of the tunnel that only kids can go into, and it'd be like a grocery store where there's like 8 runways, right?
Right.
And when the players are done a game and they go through these little runways, and all these kids are randomly put in these spots, and all the players randomly go through these little chutes, and they'll sign stuff for the kids, and they'll shake their hands, and they'll talk to them, and no adults are allowed in there. None.
Do you know how much Leicester City will charge you to have your kid as a mascot? Upwards of £400.
But this is the players leaving the pit, or for you leaving the pitch, leaving the field at the end of a game, and they sign stuff for kids. It's not they get to walk out on the field or do anything like that. But all the players, all of them do it. They go through these shoots and they sign for every single one, and it's 2,000 kids.
Oh yeah.
Right on the way out. You know what kind of impact that is?
We don't have that connection with our players and fans. They've never been more further apart in my time as a Leicester fan than they are right now. They've never been more distant than they are right now. They truly keep themselves on a separate level. I mean, but you know what? That's a little harsh on Leicester because it's pretty much like that with most clubs. Not all of them, Most clubs. The higher up you go in the table, the less connected they are with their supporters. And
it's disappointing. I'm going to tell you why it's disappointing. It's disappointing because I've been to Leicester, and I love Leicester. I love the town. I can't wait to go back. I look forward to going back to Leicester City. I enjoyed it there. I met amazing people. I was fortunate enough to have a local guide that took me around the places that, I didn't see, which I thank you for, D. But Leicester's a small town, and they have an amazing club, and the two have an opportunity to be very symbiotic. And it's very, very, very similar to Pittsburgh. They have the ability to be very close together and work together to do things. And they do. I mean, the Birch does his thing. Does his, oh, shoot, I can't think of his name. But they do another fundraiser through him. I mean, and it's cool stuff. But the club has the opportunity to be much more involved in the community than they are. And it's disappointing that they're not.
Yeah, but I think it's just a sign of the times. It's commercialization of football more than anything else. If you go lower down the leagues and down the divisions...
Have you been to the States, bro? Have you seen the NFL?
Probably more times than you, mate. Seriously.
Right. So, do you know how commercialized NFL football is and NFL players are?
But you've got to understand one thing. Commercialization of British football is more contemporary than it has been in the US. It's been like that in the US from day one. Over here, it's only in the last sort of 10, 15 years it's become like this, where footballers are more than footballers, are like bigger than movie stars or pop stars. It was never like that before.
But that's my point. So as commercialized as they are, as amazing they are, I can go to the next Steelers preseason game, or I can go to practice before the season.
Right.
My kid can meet Roethlisberger. My kid can meet Le'Veon Bell. My kid can beat Antonio Brown. Get an autograph, shake their hand, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
As commercial as it is here, they can not only meet them, they can see them, they can be around them.
Yeah, they stopped that from our training ground. They stopped fans from going there and waiting for autographs and stuff a couple of seasons back. You're not allowed there anymore now. Security guy will turn you away, even if you're a kid.
Okay, so in all that, if Leicester City's watching this, I'm available for hire. I'm a PR professional. I can set you up some stand and repeats. I can help you out with No, man, it's just disappointing, dude, because they have the opportunity to do so much more in a small community like Leicester is.
Oh, it is. It is. We were actually a community club always, in our heart, in our DNA. But with the big glamour comes the big glamour problems. Some are nice to have and some are terrible to have. But anchoring it all back, I think as Leicester City, what the owners need to understand and establish is, where do we go from here? Where's their ambition going to come into it? I'm not talking about expanding at the stadium. I'm talking about spend some of this freaking money. We're the top 20 wealthiest clubs in the league, and our net spend is befitting of a team that's happy to be in the Premier League and not aspiring for more. Who are we really, and where do we want to go?
You know what they need to do? They need to come spend a week or two where I did and meet the people and walk down the street.
We're in Toronto.
No, in Leicester, and meet the people and see who they are and what they're all about, because they'll find out that they're good people.
Yeah.
They're honest people, and they're hardworking people, and they love Leicester City. They love the team, and they love Leicester, man. It was endearing while I was there. It made me love the team even more. When I was there, what made me love Leicester City even more was the people that I met. When I met Phil, when I met you, when I met Simon, when I met all these people that lived in this place, that truly in their heart pours into what Leicester City is and what Leicester's all about, And that was the amazing part of what Leicester City was. It was the heart and the passion that these people had for not only their team, but where they lived and what they were a part of. Culturally, it was amazing. It was just this diverse place that all these people came together, and it was more than I had ever seen, especially here in the States. Forget about it. There is no city like Leicester City in the U.S., dude. There's nothing that comes close. It was amazing to see all of not only the diversity, but the heart and love of what Leicester City is to come into one place. And I was happy to be a part of it, and I would love to see these guys see what that is.
Simon said, even the vegan guy.
Even Carrot Dick.
Hey, listen, 40 days, it's going to stay.
That was a great speech until Carrot Dick came out.
Listen, it doesn't matter where we end up, what division we play in, whether we make it, whether we don't. You know what? The only constant I can assure you is that all of us will be waiting for the next game as equally as we are the last one that we just played. That's never going to change. Leicester fans are loyal, they're passionate, and they're committed. No matter what those idiots do on the field or what the manager does in the training ground, it's always going to be about the club, the team, the club. There it is.
That's my living room wall.
Yeah. You know,
everyone that walks into my house, this is what they look at.
Yep. It's always going to be that, man. It's always going to be about that. That's the constant.
By the way, I talked all that trash about the Steelers. This is my living room wall.
It's only because the Steelers are shit.
Go Steelers!
Go Niners!
Hey, by the way, nobody's watching anymore, but Jim, if you are, what happened last night? You know, Jim's a big Flyers fan.
Wait. Listen, let me ask a question that Dave King has asked. Do we think that we expected too much after winning the league? You first, and then I'll answer it.
Actually, one of the people that I've been fortunate enough to meet through the Leicester City 100% LCFC guys is Tom, and Tom really knows his stuff. He's really a smart guy. Jamie, Phil, all these guys really know their stuff. But Tom made a point that we made a mistake after we won the league not to dump the money then, not to go and take the players that we should have brought in to continue to be this top-level team. So my answer to you is exactly what Tom's answer is. Basically, I'm echoing another 100% LCFCer. This is not original. I'm telling you that our expectations were high then, and were let down by the club for not going after what we should have gone after at that time.
100% agree. But to answer the question directly, are our ambitions winning the league? No, they're not. We should be aspiring for Europe. We should be aspiring to win things. And the reason why we're not is what you highlighted. We didn't dump the money when we had the golden chance to do it. The goose came and said, I'm going to lay you golden eggs, just feed me some money and I'll do it for you. And we never did. We dropped the ball, we fumbled it, and now we're more or less back to being the team that was pretty much promoted 3-4 seasons ago. It's a really, really sad regression. I'm surprised ESPN don't do a film about this. It's that sad. But we should be in
Let me ask you this.
Than we are now.
What do you think the key would be to get us back there? Because I have an answer to that.
Yeah, it's simple. Spend money because that buys players.
Nope. Disagree. Walsh.
Steve Walsh. Captain Fantastic.
Bring him back.
Do you know what? If we had 11 Steve Walshes playing on Sunday, even at his ripe old age, we'd still win.
No. It's in all sincerity, it's his eye and his scouting talent that brought a lot of these guys in.
Oh, you're on about the other Steve Walsh at Everton. I'm on about Captain Fantastic Steve Walsh.
No.
Our idol.
No.
You're on about the scout that we let go to Everton. The
Yes.
director of football, Steve Walsh.
Yes.
Yeah, he hasn't set the world on fire in Liverpool, has he? He's struggling there.
Yeah, but the thing is that he went there and they said, here's a whole bunch of money, go get guys. And he didn't spend time scouting any of them.
Well, we were after Gylfi Sigurdsson ourselves, and some of the players we did sign.
Oh, that still pisses me off.
Yeah, I know. If they want 45, say, right, we'll give you 50. We just want him. Done deal. We're the 20th richest club in the world. No brainer. If you want the guy, pay the money. Simple.
I want a
We're not going to
Gylfi.
spend the money.
I want a Gylfi.
Yeah, you want a Gylf. You want a Gylfi.
You know any?
I know a
There's
few.
only 15 people watching, so if anybody's got any connections.
I know a few. They'll put their false teeth into you if you ask them nicely enough.
See what this regresses to when we're serious all the time. Look.
Gylfi is the top player. Yeah. Steve Walsh identified Musa and Slimani. Correct, Hitashbat. And we went after those players. And Musa, I don't think we gave the kid a chance at all. He tore Barcelona a new one in a friendly, and we never saw from him again or heard from him again. Slimani, great player, but doesn't suit the way we play. His only crime is he's not.
The problem is that we brought somebody in. It's like bringing in a player in a hockey team that you're a finesse team and you brought a thug. You know what I mean? Like he's never gonna fit. He's never gonna fit.
No, you don't bring a negotiator to a fist fight, do you?
Right. I mean, that's what you did. You brought somebody that had absolutely no chance of being on this team.
Hey, listen, dude, we're being over an hour. Maybe we should call it a night.
Nah, I think that all those guys are basically like, what the hell are they doing?
There's 11 people watching, and nobody really.
I'm not sure. I think they just fell asleep with their phones on.
Yeah, Imtaz says, nice quote. I don't know what I said, but I said something. So thanks for that, man.
Steve,
what?
I love talking to you, bro. I love seeing you. And
you know this.
This is a terrible time to do it, but make sure and check out Jamie's show on Sunday. The Aftermath show. Make sure to check out Phil's show on Monday. Now, here's the difference between what just happened with our show and theirs.
Hey,
these guys actually know what the hell they're talking about. These guys actually know that. What's that?
Jimmy's online. Hey, Simon says, are you drinking Smurf piss?
Gargamel's my neighbor.
There you go. Right, we should wrap it up now, I think.
But yeah, Sunday night, check out Jamie's Aftermath. Monday night, check out Phil's Fan Zone show.
Morning, brother. Jamie Sunday morning.
One of those. But the guy does a great show. Seriously, Jamie does a great show. Phil does an awesome show too. And I promote our sponsors, but they probably don't want to be associated to us talking to us. So on that note, bro, I love you.
Love
you. Go
too,
Leicester.
Let's talk soon. Go Leicester. Right, I'm ending this now.
We'll talk to you.
Bonus matches. Yeah.